morning, everybody, and thank you very much for the invitation to be here. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, distinguished guests. We just have to wait for my slides to catch up with me. I think we've had already today two quite profound interventions. So we heard from His Excellency a really sophisticated view of how business needs to respond to the rapidly changing world we find ourselves in. And we've just heard a story of incredible vision and incredible resilience and incredible tenacity. And both those things, so the understanding that business needs to look way beyond its boundaries of its business, and the understanding that all of us need to have a vision, we need to have resilience, are two things that for me are really critical to deliver a sustainable future. So thank you both for your contributions to date. What I will be doing this morning is picking up a theme that His Excellency touched on, which is taking you out just 2 years out from now to look at the future as a way of trying to help us to make better decisions today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sally, as per the introduction. I am an environmental scientist by training. When I did environmental science, it wasn't called that. It was quite a while ago. And as some of you heard last night, I had to give a little impromptu talk. And I actually said, and it's very true, that all I've really wanted to do throughout my career is to try and create a sustainable future. So I too had that tenacity and just kept going when people said, well, there isn't a course for you to do. I said, well, surely we can create one. And then I did a PhD in environmental science and was the second person out of Imperial College in London with a PhD in that particular area. But that was a while ago. And really, what I wanted to do today was, after just quickly introducing Forum, was to look towards the future. But first of all, a little bit about Forum for the Future. We are a sustainable development non-profit. We began nearly 20 years ago in London, and then 5 years ago established an operation in the US. And then in the last 18 months have opened up a very small office here in Bombay and also in Singapore, because we began to realize 5-7 years ago that actually in order to create impact at scale, we needed to work globally. So Forum for the Future's mission is to do nothing other than to create a sustainable future. So we have our work cut out for us, and we're very much in the game of trying to create sustainable development. In terms of how we do that, we work with business. And some of you might think that's quite strange for a non-campaigning NGO, which we are. But that's because, as we've heard already today, business is an incredible lever for change. And business arguably is responsible, and is indeed responsible, for many of the challenges that we face. But right now, when I look at the levers for change in the world around me, I think that business is an incredible lever for change, which is why you all here being today is so important, because for those of you that work for businesses, you've got your day job, but also wrapped in that is actually you're all change agents. You're all here because I assume you have an interest in the sustainability agenda and want to strive to create the sustainable future that we're trying to deliver. So these are just a few of the businesses that we work one-on-one with. We are a critical friend, so we challenge, we cajole, we push these businesses. We've worked with Unilever for nearly 20 years. They're one of our first corporate partners. PepsiCo are a long-standing partner, and here in this region, we work with the Dieter Birla Group and Swire Group and many others, putting sustainability at the heart of their operations and getting those businesses to do what His Excellency was talking about, which is to look beyond the direct boundaries of the business and ask that question, how can I be commercially successful but create a sustainable system around me at the same time? That's what I'm really interested in helping businesses understand. However, for those of you that are pioneering businesses that have really tried to wrap your heads around sustainability, you'll know that we're increasingly hitting the limits of what we can do on our own. The challenges that we face, and we've heard some of them already today, they are complex, they're systemic, they're beyond the ability of one brand or one business to tackle alone. And that's why at Forum, increasingly we're pulling organizations together in innovation coalitions to try and tackle complex challenges. From in Retail Horizons, a project that we delivered last year, how do you transform US retail, this is American retail, to be sustainable? Big question. It is possible, but it requires a very different set of business models. The Sustainable Shipping Initiative asked the question, how can we transform the global shipping industry to be sustainable? We began that project 5 years ago. It's now an independent NGO run by the global shipping industry.